Yo, what's up? It's your dude, DJ Gary. Don't forget to like this video, comment, and share. Man, let's get to it. So, Suge Knight is doing a series of interviews with Art the Dialogue or Art the Dialogue, and he made some pretty interesting claims about Eazy E, Eazy E's widow, and stuff of that nature. Jerry Heller, Dr. Dre, all these people. And you know what? I've been wanting Suge Knight to really talk about the Eazy E thing, and I kind of wanted him to get a little bit more in it, right? Of course, he's going to have his little moments of uh, fun with it, but I was like, he can really shed some light on that moment. What was it like with the beef with him and Easy, right? So let's get into one of the most interesting parts of the interview. So he says that Easy E was healthy, and then all of a sudden he's sick, which pretty much you hear that story a lot. And then, Easy E dies. But he kind of takes it further. He says, well, Easy E went to Jerry Heller's doctor, got a physical, got a shot, B12 vitamin, and all of a sudden he dies. And I was like, wow. So he kind of basically saying like, hey, I wouldn't say anything that, if I was stupid, I wouldn't be saying it or something to that effect. And he's basically just laid it on the table. He said, hey, look, Eazy E had to be injected with uh, AIDS. I've been around for years. I'm sharp. I know what I'm saying. Now, I was very taken aback, like he would really take this position because people have always made claims about Suge Knight injected Eazy E. They'll say maybe Jerry Heller did it. Maybe they sent somebody to do it. Maybe and then Kid Frost came out and said, oh, Eazy, how he got it. He got it injected and, or he got poked. He was taking those puncture mark things. And because he had an accident, Eazy had an accident or something on a motor scooter or a dirt bike. So, and then years and years, people always wondered what happened to Eazy E. How could Eazy E die that quick? So Suge Knight is basically saying like, hey, something had to happen. You just don't die that quick. Magic Johnson is still alive. Why isn't Magic Johnson gone, but Eazy E's gone? He also went further. Okay, he went further, and he's like, me and Eazy E was chopping it up about some bread, this and that. They're both from Compton, so Suge Knight gonna keep it Compton, right? So he's like, yeah, we was chopping up about some bread. I said, look, you're not gonna get $1 from me. You're not gonna get $1 from Death Row, but you're gonna get $1 off Dr. Dre. And so he's saying he made the deal with Eazy that anything anything Dr. Dre do, Eazy E would receive $1 off Dr. Dre, whether it be movies, uh, films, soundtracks, albums, whatever Dre produces, Eazy E would get $1, right? That's why you hear, but Dre Day only meant Eazy's payday, right? So Suge Knight is basically saying, they did this and it was set in stone. And that was that. But then Eazy E gets sick, go to the hospital. Tamika Woods, Tamika Wright, basically marries Eazy on his deathbed. She comes along. She meets with Jimmy Iovine. Jimmy Iovine, Dr. Dre, and Jimmy Iovine basically tells her, look, um, if you do this, if you sign this paper, right, you sign this paper where Dre basically don't have basically Eazy E don't have to take $1 off of Dre anymore because Eazy E's dead. Sign this paper, sign this contract. I'm not gonna bow down to you or nothing like that. You do this contract, we'll work in the future. She signs the contract. Eazy E's kids basically suffers this blow. Eazy E's kids doesn't receive $1, and she basically took Jimmy Iovine's advice. Jimmy Iovine's like, "Hey, we'll work in the future." Now, interesting enough, around this time that Suge Knight is talking about, right? King T, anybody remember King T? He was signed with Aftermath. Now, the interesting thing about this, not to get off topic, King T made an album. He got basically asked Dre to let him out his contract, right? And King T ended up signing with who did he end up signing? He ended up signing with Ruthless Records, Tamika, for like, I think it was supposed to be like one album or something like that of that nature. I think it was called The Kingdom Come. And something happened between then. So supposedly Tamika Wright ended up picking a fight with King T's manager, who was a female at that time, right? And then the album ends up getting shelved. Interesting thing is, Dr. Dre does beats on this album. He does production on this album. And it got shelved. And King T to this day is like, hey, Tamika destroyed Ruthless. She destroyed everything. And because of that, King T basically suffered too. And then Suge Knight goes at Little Eazy E. He basically downs Little Eazy E, calls him Little Chubby. Now, it's interesting about this, right? Because Little Eazy E what I find interesting is Lil Eazy E kind of like will kind of like make remarks about Suge Knight, and rightfully so because Suge Knight made remarks about his father, his deceased father. So he basically in interviews, Lil Eazy was like, we'll call him the fat man, and kind of like saying, yeah, we had Suge, and we could have did this, we could have did that. I could have ran down on him, or he kind of like says in certain interviews, like, yeah, I wanted to know things about my father, but if I got the wrong thing, the from Suge, I would have did, kind of like saying he would have pressed the line. So of course, Suge Knight is listening to this. Little Suge Knight Jr. is probably reporting this to his father, and so he says like, "Hey, Lil Eazy E got played. He wasn't going to be in Straight Outta Compton. They they basically banned him from the set. This and that. Third, he kind of like had to tap at Lil Eazy E. Suge appeal got denied. So of course Suge is kind of like saying, it is what it is. Let me go off on anybody. Now the Tamika Woods situation, I find it interesting that Suge Knight just basically says she's the reason why Eazy E family suffered and didn't see fortune, because they could have been eating off of Dr. Dre's deal with Beats, could have been eating off of anything Dre touched it. And because of that, because what happened, she signed the contract, they suffered. Now, this further got me to thinking about the Straight Outta Compton portrayal. And everybody kind of blames Ice Cube, say, oh, Ice Cube has something to do with Ice Cube. I don't believe that. Ice Cube is for himself for the most part. I don't think he would even care. He just gives his 2 cents of when he was there. Other people, on the other hand, it's something different. I believe that the Straight Outta Compton thing, that could have been, the portrayal of Eazy could have been done better. Now, shout out to Jason Mitchell. I think he did a great job as Eazy E, but I think that with that, Eazy E's character could have been portrayed a little bit better, in my opinion. They kind of make it like Eazy was kind of like a little crybaby at times. And of course, she had total control of how Eazy E was going to be perceived in this movie, Straight Outta Compton. Suge Knight also says that Eazy E wasn't in love with her. He was that Eazy E had like multiple women, and she basically finessed her way into Eazy E's financial at the end of his life, with the estate. And, in a lot of ways, Ruthless Records did nothing. It couldn't sign anything. The biggest thing on that label was Bone Thugs and Harmony. They were basically carrying out the contract relativity until it was done with. So they were kind of like holding Ruthless up. After that, it just basically became a catalog. Ruthless was just a catalog, basically a catalog stay for NWA, JJ Fad, all that. No new acts was signed, and it died. Essentially, Ruthless Records died. But let me know what you guys think about this Suge Knight thing, his theories, what he claims. We know Suge Knight might be a bit bitter, but also there's some validity in, I believe, what he says. Not everything Suge Knight says is for shock value. There's a little bit of truth. You just have to read in between the lines of it, you know, because you might miss a few nuggets. You know, we coming up on what 30 years of Eazy E death. I think it'd be like what 32 years or 30 years since Eazy E death, and unfortunately, well, 30 years, and unfortunately, Eazy E will find himself back in the tabloids, clickbait because of all this stuff that's going on. Was Eazy E taken out? I believe there's validity in that. You tell me what you think. Y'all think Suge Knight's capping? Y'all think Suge Knight is just saying stuff for shock value? Or you think he's being transparent and truthful? He did say they tried to take him out several times, but, his mental is stronger than his physical. Let me know what y'all think. I'm out. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.